Is this some good B-roll? Has the credits? He's awkwardly looking at me.
Welcome to the insight of the makings of a documentary.
In Kilmarnock, small community, so you join almost every team to meet everyone. So I did swimming, rugby, don't ask, GAA, hurling, which is more or less the same. And then there's all these other clubs, so even volunteering. So like you do volunteering in Kilmarnock, like the church had volunteering. Even like the Kilmarnock Arts Club, which is a club of people who have special needs. You volunteer your time and help them out. All those kind of things as well, that was very popular. It was more, if I'm being honest, it's like a small community like Kilmarnock. Your parents make their kids do these sports, so their parents can mingle, basically. So if your mom's best friend's kids did this, you would do it too. But like you kind of want to do it as well to meet them, but yeah, I feel like you're more pushed into it anyway. But it's not a bad thing being pushed into sports. So yeah, it was normal anyway.
For this documentary, I wanted to do an interview with my friend Gavin and discuss his relationship with the village he grew up in, Kilmarnock, County Dublin, talking about the GAA, volunteering and being involved with sport, and obviously with sport being a main hold of this interview. Having been involved in multiple aspects of the village, I thought it would help him express himself a bit more on camera as he was initially nervous.
Yeah, so swimming, I was going to my sister is, she swam for Swim Ireland under 16s. She's like one of the best in Ireland at that stage. So I liked it too, so I kept it on for many years. Then I did it through secondary school, but then in secondary school, swimming isn't very cool. Like, people play football, then like you football, rugby, like these man sports, and then you do swimming, which isn't really masculine. So you kind of felt like you're kind of pushed away from it anyway. But I kind of stopped anyway.
As mentioned, swimming was a major part of Gavin's life. It was the first sport that he kind of felt included in, with his sister also being involved. It meant he had previous attachments and relationship with the swimming club. With the Kilmarnock swimming being so close to his house, it helped him to stay local and stay within the village without necessarily having to interact with people he might not have been necessarily close to, having grown up with them in school. So I thought by discussing swimming, he could open himself up a bit more and be a little bit more positive about the village.
So GAA happened after, so I did like 10 sports at once. I did swimming, rugby, the lot. And then eventually you stopped doing football or soccer. I don't care what the term is. But then you did GAA. GAA I preferred anyways. All my friends did it. Did that until like 12, 13. Then after, most people who are friends would stop playing it, focus on secondary school. And like your time's more important there, so I kind of took my time out of that for like mental health reasons too. Even like I did swimming because I preferred swimming, so I kept on swimming professionally anyway.
Karate seemed to be the one thing that Gavin enjoyed, although it did take place in Baldoyle, just outside Kilmarnock. It's what allowed him to express himself a bit more, as he didn't know people there, the people there didn't know him previously, and he could be himself a bit more without having to put on a front. But I also wanted him to talk about the village. I wanted to get him to express himself a bit more and speak more openly on camera when discussing karate.
So the main thing I did then was karate actually, for many years. And that's why I say I enjoyed the most. Because I'm very like, what's the word? I was quiet before. I know, for me for years, I'm not quiet one bit. I see your hands going, I know what you're gonna say. But I wanted something that was more, what's the word? Out of my comfort box. So I wanted to say, what would I not want to do? Fighting someone. So I said, okay, let me learn to do that. To push yourself to do things I don't like doing. So I did that for many years. I did for I think 5-6 years. I only stopped recently because I focused more on college, which I kind of think is more important at the moment. But I got to like 3rd brown belt, which is the one before black, but it wait 4 years to get your black. And 4-year wait just to get a black belt seemed a bit excessive, so I kind of stopped on that reason. But I just didn't know how to fight, and also I thought it was good for like exercise anyway.
With karate being kind of the main thing in his life, school was always difficult. In this next clip, he talks about why he struggled to kind of get through school, the negative impacts that it had, and the difficulties that he faced going through school. I didn't want the entire interview just to be based on negativity, which it seemed to be through what Gavin was saying, with the positives coming from his time participating in karate and allowing him to express himself and be more open. School was the one thing that kind of held him back, as he discusses in this next part.
Same for everyone. Everyone's different in secondary school. For me, it was a very good place. Like, just a lot of issues in secondary school. Teachers not being very good. Students having like little fights and all. Normal school life, but it wasn't for me, secondary school. So I think it did help having all these disciplines.
But not everything was all down. Gavin will give an insight in these next clips into the positives that he felt. And I wanted to showcase the change in the village with the showing of new stores coming up, with the new houses being built, to show a change and an evolution not only in the village, but also in Gavin as he grew older and he was able to expand his horizons and kind of look beyond the village. With his participation in the Pormarnock Arch Club, it showed to him new experiences and new people who he wouldn't have met, and gave him a brand new insight into Pormarnock, the village, and how they can support their own and how they can deal with one another. In this next clip, he will talk about the impact that he felt the Arch Club had, not only on him, but also on the people who were there and who he helped.
So, ever since we left, you know, what's her name's, our principal then left. And the new principal is much better. So we're gonna walk this way? Yeah, okay. The new principal actually cares about mental health. Miss Steenie, better teachers now, better for everyone. Even our school years ago, they had no autism support, and now I saw recently they have like a special needs assistants, which should have had for years. We have them now.
From this interview, I wanted Gavin to showcase the positives, his own spin on how he feels growing up in Portmarnock. And I feel like with the evolution going from the negative into the positive and how he found something that he likes to do, it showcased that over time he has grown as a person.
I'm actually out of breath already. Oh.